Hello, wonderful, awakened, beautiful people. How are you today? Today I'm talking about why it is that humankind often messes things up when they're perfectly alright. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And that's really broken, but they say that. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Why do we keep trying to mess things up? And it's not our fault, according to the emissaries. I'll tell you all about it on the other side. So I was asking the emissaries about where we are in terms of this move to the golden age, and they said that we are on the precipice of, and I use that word not lightly, not the piss, precipice. And they said that we are just about to start to see the most beautiful, glorious, joyful times. And they're coming. But they said we're right at the beginning, but they're coming and it's going to be beautiful. And then we're going to move gradually into the golden age. And I said to them, hey, you know, the golden age, like when we look back in history, they all decline eventually, don't they? They all decline. I mean, even when we look back, you know, the Romans had it all, lost it all. The Greeks had it all, lost it all. The Ottoman Empire, whoever they were, had it all, lost it all. Tartarians. He said, so what goes on? He said, you know the decline that happens in this golden age, will we have a decline eventually? And they said, yes, of course you will. And I said, will the decline be... Is the decline always faster? And they said, yes, it is. It's very rapid. The move to the golden age, the upward spiral to beautifulness, that goes on for a long time. And then, suddenly out of the blue, we go into decline and we lose the lot. So I said to them, why is that? And they said, well, firstly, it's the way that the cycle is set up. It's always this. Golden age, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Oh, dark ages again. Golden age, like that cycle. I think a few people have been talking about this, just this cycle that has nothing to do with time. And I said, so why do we decline? And why is it so quick? And they said, what happens is this. Mankind is here to experience, and we experience through contrast. And so what happens is we get constant contrast, constant change. We don't like change, we resist it, but it's very good for us because we're always making a contrast. You know, today's better than yesterday, today's worse than yesterday. We make these contrasts, yeah? And what they're saying is that what happens when we get to the pinnacle of the golden age, when we get up every day and everything is beautiful, everything is gorgeous, and everything is the same over and over again. What they say is that mankind, the propensity that we have is that we begin to disabuse that when it's too good. We even have an expression, it's too good to be true. When it's too good, what happens is we start to sabotage it. Because it's meaningless. If we look at the whole story of the idea, you know, the conversations with God, of God not having any reference, not having any contrast. It's like if you're perfect and beautiful and wonderful every day, how can you experience anything? It's like being in one of those sensory deprivation pods. You're just floating there going, well, I don't feel anything. I mean, it's nice and it's lovely for a while. But spend 3 days in there and you'll be going off your rocker. You'll be splashing the water. You probably had a wee in the water as well, if not a poo. And that in and of itself is not good in one of those tanks, I would imagine. But that's what happens. We don't like too much good. And we see it with people who are born into money and riches and fame. The parents are rich and famous. They grow up having everything, having a beautiful life, and then they fuck it up. Take loads of drugs, go into rock and roll and everything and go wild. Why? Because we need contrast. And so the emissaries are saying that the fall is always, it always comes at the pinnacle when people, and I've looked at, why on earth would it collapse when it was going so beautifully? Why would people destroy it when it was going so beautifully? Why did Rome fall? Why did they start doing all of these weird things? Just abusing themselves, distorting sex, distorting sexual genders. Rings a bell, doesn't it? Celebrating, worshipping food, just sitting around eating all of the time. Sounds familiar. Well, it's because too much of a good thing. All play and no work makes Jack an unhappy lad. Or is it the other way around? One of the two. It works both ways. However, the decline is a long way off. We won't see it in this life. We won't even see the pinnacle in this life of the golden age. We're just going to see the front end, and then we'll have to come back and probably come back again. I don't know how many times to be able to get to the pinnacle. I do want to be at the pinnacle. I'm not sure whether I want to see the decline again. Sad, isn't it? Like, oh, here we go again. Round and round, Another into the shit again. But that's the way that it is. And what they're saying is that is the way that we grow as souls. We grow by contrast. And so we always have to bring about bad if there's too much good. And we always have to bring about good if there's too much bad. And as it happens, that's where we are now. Too much bad, we want a bit of good. And frankly, can I be frank? You can be Mary. I am ready for that now. Are we not? Ready for a bit of good. Ready for a bit of nice. Ready just to have a breather. And enjoy the latter part, the second half, not latter part, second half of my life, having some fun and doing some things that I've never done before. I hope you're going to be there to join me. I'm sure you are. I love you all, and I'll speak to you all later.